Hi there folks, welcome back to Banta Music. I got a new set of bagpipes off of eBay and there's a few things you need to know about them. Let's begin. This is what came in the pipe box. The drone tops, drone bottoms, pipe chanter, the pipe bag with the mouthpiece that we could not get off, some plugs, synthetic reeds, pipe chanter reeds, practice chanter reeds, drone reeds, and the practice chanter, along with 2 instruction books and a spool of yarn. That feels like the pipe chanter right there. Let's see if I can get the rest of this stuff out. Alrighty, this is the pipe chanter. Let's see if I can get this apart. Okay, now that I got the plastic off, I want to see this. Actually, this part actually doesn't look too bad. Now, I think the rest of this is going to be the same. Yep, it looks like it's all going to be the same, and even that's not cut properly. It's actually not the same thickness all the way around. But we'll move on. Let's get the rest of this plastic off. Okay, so I got that off. That's I still don't like that that's on like that, but let's get that off. Oh gosh, oh, it's a little bit tight. This hemp has actually been put all the way up. It's actually been put over the top, and that's not good. Let's see the blowpipe. So blowpipe is looks like it's relatively okay. So let's take that out and see if there's a valve. Oh gosh. Oh no, that's not good. Oh, that's a little bit sharp there. That should really be sanded down with metal. Oh my gosh, I actually can't even get that out. That's not good. I want to see what kind of pipe bag is in here, because this is a bag cover. It's not the actual pipe bag. Here is the actual pipe bag, or what I guess you could call a pipe bag. This is very thin fabric. I'm not going to do too much with that, honestly. So we'll put that back in there like that. And I'll take the corks and put them into, oh no. So these corks actually almost won't even fit into the stocks. Let's see if I can get this thing inflated. That's a very, very long blowpipe. Okay. I could feel air coming out the other side of the blowpipe. So the pipes are going to get put to the side. Let's see if we can get the pipe chanter sounding. Let's see if I can get it a little straighter. There we go. You hear the E on that? I have never heard a reed sound like that before. And I think it's because the F and the E are so far apart on here. They're not going up the chanter. They're not in line. So see if I can't push that really much farther in, because I guess I can a little bit. So let's see what it sounds like now. The binding, the binding on the reed is coming off. It's actually coming off. That is that's a lot of no. These are my shoulder, and they got a little bit of weight to them, so they're not bad. It's they're a teeny bit on the flimsy side, but let's get these things going. I got a little bit of sound in them already. Okay, so I was actually surprised that they lasted that long, but let's see if I can get them to actually turn back on. Yeah. This one is completely opened up. Oh my gosh. So I have the bridle down all the way on this, and it is barely sounding at all. I'm going to pull on the tongue a little bit just to try to get it a little bit more bring out the elasticity is what I was trying to say. And we'll see if I can get this going again. Oop. So I can get the bass and the inside tenor going. The outside tenor is absolutely impossible. It's open completely and it will not turn on. So I have my tuner. I'm gonna get these things going up and I'll see if I can figure out what the outside tenor is at for pitch. So my tuner will actually not even pick up the sound from these. It will not. I tried turning that on and off and turning it on to the configure switch, and nothing happened. It did not pick it up. Now that we know what these sound like, let's go over the red flags. Now I believe that this is the bass drone for this set of pipes. And as you can tell, if I put one of my easy drone reeds, I believe this is the bass, next to this one, you'll notice that they're roughly about the same length, minus the black part here. But the tongue is very different. Like if I move the tongue there, you can see that the tongue is different. And here, the tongue is very flimsy. Red flag number 2 is the fact that this is one of the cane drone reeds, and this is what the tongue looks like. There we go. It's not quite cut flat, and it doesn't come with any paper clips. So if you got one of these and you couldn't get it to work, then there's a reason why if you're not familiar with putting paper clips in. So let me quickly show you how that would work. So take a paper clip like this, make it look like a hook at the end here, and I had to, this was in one of my other reeds, so I had to make the hook a little bit wider, as this reed is a teeny bit wider. So line up the middle of the tongue on the reed like so, and then position the paper clip like this so the hook is towards you. Line up the hook, the vertical part of the hook with the middle of the tongue as much as you can. Give it a very slight push in. If it really struggles, don't push it, but push it all the way in. And I'm going to turn this sideways so that as I push the paper clip in, watch the tongue. You can see it start to move up a little bit, and even that's probably a little bit too much. So I'll bring it back just a little bit. And then that's about as much as you probably want. But of course, this will be up to you whether or not you want the reed harder to blow or easier. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention is that the pipe Chanter reed here that you see, and unfortunately my camera can't zoom in more than that, but you'll notice that the binding here and here has come loose. Like, see how loose that is? That should not happen. That means that it was not made properly. And when I put the this end into the Chanter, the binding, actually, the hemp rather, actually came off. As for the blade and the cane, it's actually not too bad. The cane itself is not too bad. However, on this one, there's a bit of a nick on this side, right about here where my thumb is. And you'll notice that right here, it's a different shade of color. And that is actually quite smooth thing. It's kind of like an oboe reed. It reminds me of an oboe reed with that color. So this reed would simply not work. And this one was actually worse than the other one. Next, I want to show you where exactly the holes are on this pipe chanter. So as you can see, if you look from here all the way up, you'll notice that these 4 holes are in line. This one is not. You notice that? This one, between these two, they're actually off. And that's a whole lot of no, because when you heard the sound test, you could tell that the E to the F was basically inaudible. So I've taken off one of the drones, and I believe this was one of the tenors, but look at the inside, look at the top of the drone. That is not good. It's not been bored out properly. In fact, there's a lot of stuff, and if I do this, you'll actually be able to, you can see where it is. Like that is really poor craftsmanship. And you know, I respect people's work, but this is not the way that this should have come. Now, if you're going to handle these drones, I think I mentioned this earlier, the edges of the metal here, the silver part, if you can call that, are not very smooth. They're actually quite sharp. It's like rubbing my fingers, and I'm being careful with this, but it's rubbing my finger across a really dull knife. That's what that feels like, and that's not good. And that's partly why I couldn't, I had a hard time trying to get the blowpipe off, because it is very rough here. This really needs to be sanded down so that it's easier to grasp, and all of these edges across the pipes are exactly the same way. Other thing with one of the other drones that I took out is and again, it might be hard to see with the focus, but this part here on the top, or on the bottom rather, is the inside diameter of that is different than the way around. If you look at that, you'll notice it's not the same width across. From the inside to the outside of the brown part, it's not the same around, right? That is, it's not good. And again, that's going to affect how your reeds sit in there. And it will affect your sound as well. So you're not going to get, there's a lot of stuff here that I'm bringing up, but I want you to know this so that when you potentially get your eBay bagpipes, if you're not familiar with what you're going to get, this is why I'm doing this, because unless you know to look for this stuff, you're going to wonder why you're struggling. Now if we look at the practice chanter, notice that right there in there, look that you notice that there's a bit of excess wood kind of filings in there. I think that's what they're called. I could not get that out. I actually tried using a teeny a knife of like a paring knife to try to get that out. It would not come out. And I didn't want to damage this thing because I will be sending these back because I have absolutely no use for them after I complete this review. So the other thing I want to point out with these is the same thing as I did with the pipe chanter, is that as you go up the holes here, you go up, there's still, even between these three, they're not completely in line, right? But between the E and the F hole, all the way down there, look how far over that F hole is. That's not good. And I've said that many times with this stuff, but I just that baffles me that they would make this and think that that's acceptable. Now this stuff, I don't know what this is. Honestly, it looks. I think it's the same stuff as this, to be honest. But this is like the ball of yarn that my brother's cat would run after. So I wouldn't use this stuff. I would actually use this for sewing. I think that's pretty much what that is. Actually, this isn't proper hemp. Doesn't look like anyway. So I wouldn't use this. But let's take a look at the books. When we look at the assembly instructions, they're actually fairly straightforward, which I am impressed with. The only thing is that, hold on a second here, is in step 4, while keeping the melody notes of the chanter closed. That's when you're putting the pipe chanter into the chanter stock. It's telling you to cover all of the melody notes. How on earth are you supposed to do that when you're putting the chanter into the chanter stock? It's impossible unless somebody else does it for you. So if you see these, look how far apart those are. That's crazy. You should be able to use from your thumb here and your pinky here and go and be able to touch this drone over to this drone. You should be able to do this. Okay, that's how you can tell how far apart the drone should be. Now, right now, look how far apart they are. They're almost double. That's crazy. I don't know how you could possibly tune your drones like that. If you are trying to, if your drones are like that and you're trying to tune them and you're struggling, that's part of the reason why. So that is my review of this set of bagpipes that I bought off of eBay. There are bagpipes that you can get off of like Amazon, which actually do come from the National Piping Center or the College of Piping. That's actually more of a reliable place to go, and I'll put a link, some links in the description as to where you could get some of the pipes if you're willing to go there. They are more expensive, but you know you're going to get better quality. So I really hope that this was helpful for you, because I have seen a lot of these pipes from different sources, not really trusted sources, coming to people. Piper's not quite sure about whether it's them or the pipes. It's not you, it's the pipes. If you get a set of pipes like these, God bless you, you're going to struggle with these, because I can't get these things to sound the way I want them to, and you're not going to get them to sound the way you want them to, because they're not made properly. I hope you enjoyed the review today. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with people so that they understand exactly what they're going to be getting if they do get a set of bagpipes like this off of eBay. And I will see you in the next one.